All right, perfect. Okay, so thank y'all again for your time. Appreciate you. Week 1 class meeting of module 152. We wrapped up module 151, and that was, that's the beginning of the program. So now y'all are seeing the introduction, like next week in chapter 2 is introduction to ICD-10-CM. And that's where we're going to start getting into the coding, kind of heavy. And we do like a few overview chapters first, but y'all are going to start coding in the next couple of weeks, starting to find codes in the book. But I don't want you, for the new folks, I don't want y'all to get overwhelmed with the books.
Like I was.
Also, if you do not have your 3 coding manuals, you need to get with me immediately. Like, I mean, immediately. So we can get them to you, because we have to get them shipped if you don't have them. And you're going to need them starting next week. So this like 40-pound flipping book is your ICD-10-CM manual. Okay. Humongous and heavy. A lot of y'all on this call have already been through like the end parts of coding, so you know what you're about to get into. But you new ladies, it's gonna be fun.
This is my advice to the new people getting ready to go through this, because I done had my fun. Take it a day at a time, okay? Don't overwhelm yourself with it. Y'all got a heads up on us, because at least y'all touched the medical terminology.
Oh, they jumped in the middle.
Yeah.
They jumped in the middle with none of this introduction to. It was one day they started, and the next day they were like, how do I find this code? So y'all are in a good spot. I'm really excited for y'all to be able to go through the process organically, so to speak, from start to finish. It's going to be fantastic. I really wish they would kind of change our system a little bit, but don't get overwhelmed on these manuals, because here's the deal. You have to know them, and you have to know where to find things in them. But as far as what you're going to do in your job on a day-to-day basis, I've worked in billing and coding for going on 8 years, and I could probably count on one hand the times I have had to break out a coding manual. Generally, we are working off of a super bill, and the codes are there, and we're just putting data where data goes. Every now and then, and depending on your job, depending on where you go to work and what their expectations are for you, you may have to find codes. And like right now, where I'm at with this urgent care, we have an emerging world health crisis going on with monkeypox. Well, guess what? My urgent care started vaccinating for monkeypox 3 weeks ago. And we got our first positive cases of monkeypox in Shreveport at our location 2 weeks ago. Or no, not 2 weeks, last week. 2 confirmed positive cases in Shreveport. So I'm, number one, I'm no longer allowed at the office. I cannot go. I am strictly working from home, because I'm not going to expose myself to it or my child, because it's deadly to children. So I'm just not even. Matt, my boss was like, I don't even want you up here. We can do everything we need to do online. So that's what we've been doing. But because this is an emerging thing, I've had to direct Matt in how he needs to code these things so we can get these bills submitted. Well, guess what? There is no monkeypox vaccine in a coding manual. It's too new. Literally, the codes were approved July 25th this summer. As things were breaking out.
So what's the code?
Huh?
What's the code?
For the vaccine, 90611.
And
you're going to code that. That's the CPT. And you're going to code that with either a 90460 or a 90471, depending on the age of the patient you are administering that vaccine.
Okay.
So, there you go. There you go. But this is something that I had to go on the internet, go to, reputable coding websites, the AMA, the American Medical Association, that approves and releases the codes, and then CMS, which is Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, to verify that I was doing what I needed to do as far as my Medicare patients, and that the codes weren't going to change or something like that. So you've got to, not everything's in the dang manual. And that's why I tell y'all are going to look at these codes and be like, oh my God, how do I remember all this? You're not going to. Don't even try. Don't stress yourself out like that. Because not only we get new codes every year as things emerge, some codes change. As medicine changes, the codes are going to change with it. So the book may be different next year.
What y'all gonna need to know is how to find the code. That's the most important part.
Yes.
Most important
Don't-
part is tabbing your book.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Okay.
That too. I put mine up. I gotta go get the god doggone thing.
See these? See all these little tabbies? Come on, camera. The new tabbies. There's like 20 chapters, 22 chapters, something like that. And you got a tab for each one. And I'm telling you now, that is the first thing that you will do with this book. Tab it. Tab every section so you know where to find, you can find something quickly and easily. And we're going to go into more detail about that once we get into overview. We're going to kind of break it down chapter by chapter. Those of you who were kind of at the tail end of your coding when you jumped in and we did the coding workshops and stuff like that, those are going to be starting up again, probably not next week, but the week after. Okay. And for those of you who are new to this, what the coding workshop is a completely optional, just extra Zoom meeting that I have at like 7 o'clock at night. So my people who work during the day can try to attend, and we simply code. And we go through the book. I give you scenarios. We go through the book together. We look at the pages. You can ask me questions on, okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? How did you get here? How did we get there? And it's really great. I think it was really beneficial for everybody that participated. And then, of course, as always, I record that stuff and post it to e-learning. So it's always there for you to find. And if for some reason I forget to post it to e-learning, you can always search me on YouTube if I've got it uploaded yet. They should be on there. There's a whole Unitech playlist under my name. But so in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be adding stuff. I don't know if y'all noticed in e-learning, there is now a coding resources page added. Nothing on it yet, because I'll be adding some good websites, some good handouts, different things on there as we go along. And I'll also post the videos for the coding workshops there. I'm going to post the past ones that we did in the spring, and I'll post the new ones as we do them. Okay. So that NCCT prep for the MOA is still going on with Miss Marsha on a weekly basis. I moved all the NCCT prep stuff. That page I had added last module, I moved that to this one too. So that's still there for y'all. And I'll continue to add for that as that goes along. Now, after the MOA finishes up on September the 20th, I think it is the last date for that. The following week, they're going to start NCCT prep for the coding certification. For those of y'all that are finishing your program, this is your prime time to get in on some practice stuff for your coding certification. So that's practice exams, practice problems, and y'all, Marsha, like she lives and breathes that test. like, and those of you who have been participating in the MOA prep sessions, she says y'all have been having a lot of fun. So I'm so glad about that. Unfortunately, I have not been able to make it to a single one of those sessions. It just hasn't been a thing.
Next week, we're gonna start the prep for the coding specialist certification.
No, after the MOA ends, I think it's like September the 20th. So I think it's like 2 or 3 more weeks of the MOA, the medical office assistant. And then after that, you'll start for the coding certification.
All right. Question for those of us who are about to graduate and all that. When do we take the tests and all that?
Whenever you're ready. It's up to you whenever you want to take it. I suggest, as far as the coding certification, you want to make sure that you, number one, have completed your program, because there are things from that exam in
Mhm.
every module that we cover. So you want to have done the entire program, and then you
Mhm.
want to also have prepped enough. And I mean like prep enough. And yeah, what I want y'all to understand too is the certification exam, like the coding that we're going to be doing over the next few months, is what's called cold coding, where I'm giving you a scenario and you have to almost guess where to start from. Okay.
Yeah. Like
The exam is not like that. In your job, most likely will not be like that. Cold coding is something that is very rarely done, because we all use software now, and the codes are built into the software. And we also, y'all, Google is your friend. Google is your friend. Most of the time, like I know a lot of coders who double check their software and then double check it with Google, or something like that, to compare and make sure that they have the best code possible. But most of the
What about-
time, but the exam itself is not cold coding. It's multiple choice. They're going to give you something, and then they're going to give you a list A, B, C, D of 4 different codes. And you get to go in your manual and look at that code and see, is that the one? Is that the one? Is that the one? It's not going to be, here's a scenario, figure it out.
Fair enough. Oh, that was and the MOA same thing.
The MOA is different in that it concentrates more on the laws and regulations
Mhm.
and things that go on more front office, whereas the coding and billing concentrates more on really coding,
Yeah.
and a little bit on the billing stuff as far as HIPAA and compliance stuff and things like that. Your coding certification is your big one. I consider the medical office assistant just a bonus. Just a bonus.
No, I meant like it's the same as we can take the test like whenever
Yeah.
to get the certification. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've got. Some of y'all right now who are, like I said, we needed to wait till 151 was over, and I'm hoping that most of y'all, well, I guess if the MOA prep sessions are ending on September the 20th, now might be the time to go ahead and start emailing Franny Hoffman, who's our registrar, because she sets you up for your test date. And I know that I've had one person email her, and it's taken Franny like 3 or 4 days to get back to her. Franny, y'all, I wouldn't do her job. They couldn't pay me enough to do that woman's job. She does so much for the online campus as our registrar. She's responsible for so much. So please just be gracious with her if it takes her a little bit to get back to y'all. Like I said, she's just a super busy individual, and our entire online campus would fall apart without her. She's kind of like our glue. But she's the one who sets up that test for you, and gives you the options of what dates you can take it and things, what times and different campus locations and all that. She'll give you all that information. Because remember, Unitech pays for it the first time. Now, if you don't pass it the first time, and that's why I say, y'all prep and study, go through the practice exams that Marcia and them have set up, because they are what's going to get you past these certification exams. Okay. We have a really good pass rate for the students that participate in the prep sessions. And I can leave it at that. That
Miss B,
speaks volumes.
where's the I haven't been able to make any of those prep sessions. I forget every Tuesday because I'm running around
I know.
that it popped up on my YouTube and I was like, huh. And but where do you take the practice test?
Well, it's the I emailed y'all the MOA bank of questions,
Okay.
and that's
okay.
basically it.
Okay, I got you. All
That's
right.
basically it.
Got you.
Yep. And I want to say what they do in the prep sessions, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all that participate, is they take different sections and go through them and talk about them and the answers and things like that. Is that Patricia? You've been to a couple of them, right?
Mhm.
Am I right in my information?
We do about 25 together. And if we have any questions, and then she'll give us the remaining, whatever it might be, whatever. And we'll do them the following week, go through them. She'll read off the answers. Do you have any questions? Because some of them will, like, one was about deodorant being medical. Deodorant is medical. And, how is deodorant? But then it goes back to, you can get a prescription for deodorant. So, you'll go through it and find, okay, how does this play in? Some of it's weird, like what's the size of paper that you need for a printer? 8.5 by 11. It's weird.
Gotcha. I see you, Shakira. I got you, girl. Yeah. So I mean, that's an extremely helpful resource for you guys to get prepared for these exams. And just take advantage, take advantage if you can. And if you can't make it to the meetings, that's okay. That's why we post the videos and they're on YouTube and y'all can go back and work through them. That's why we do that. Because we know that not everybody can make it every time. It's just not going to be a thing. And by the by, I prefer to have Zooms on the day before exams, but the way it looks like this module is shaping up, the review day is on Fridays. I don't really care to have meetings on Fridays because it's Friday. So this will be the last Friday meeting. We're going back to Thursday next week. Now, I say unfortunately, next week I'm still going to have to do 1 o'clock probably because Paige is in school now and I got to go get her at 3 o'clock. So that totally kills our 3:30 time. But Tuesday, we're going after school to check out an after school martial arts program. And they will actually bring her from school to the dojo and she'll work out for like an hour and a half, do her thing. And then I'll go get her after work. So right now, her being home at 3:30 to 5 is like messing my stuff up, y'all. I'm a little bit OCD I'm a creature of routine. And her switching from daycare after being in daycare for 4 years, going to a school routine, we getting up earlier. She's getting out earlier.
They don't have aftercare at the school?
You got to get your schedule together.
They don't have aftercare at their school?
No, not at her school.
See, our school here, like the elementaries have aftercare and you can stay till 6 o'clock. And I think it's like $40 a week.
Dang it. Well, her little, we were paying like $150 a week for daycare. So her little after school program is going to cost probably about 80, 60. He said 65 to 80 is the average, depending on whether she goes 3 days a week or 5 days a week, or, if we want the extra karate lessons or whatever. So it's going to be like half the cost. I was excited about saving that $500 and something a month that we were paying for daycare. But I think the after school thing, I think it's going to benefit her, number one. And number two, it's going to help me maintain my schedule a little bit better. So hopefully we'll be able to go back to 3:30s if that works out. So, but next week will probably still be 1 o'clock. So, but I don't like the Fridays. We ain't doing that no more. So, all right, let's see. We've talked about, okay, no class on Monday. Everybody saw that announcement, right? Happy Labor Day. I hope y'all have some fantastic plans and are going to do something fun.
Randy, I have a question. I'm sorry.
What you got, Julie?
Miss Marsha, she's teaching and prepping for the major exam that you want to take Like,
No,
or,
she's doing the medical office assistant, but I believe that Miss Danielle and Miss Peggy are going to be doing the ICD-10 prep or the coding prep.
okay, that's what I wanted to know. I
Yeah.
was wondering who,
Yeah.
prepping for what
I
the
think
big major thing.
Marsha and Crystal, or sorry, Miss Marsha and Miss Crystal Berry, did the MOA, and now I think Miss Danielle and Miss Peggy are gonna do the coding. And then I do my workshops. I do
Okay.
my ICD-10
Know when they're gonna be doing the coding sessions?
when they will.
Yeah.
I think they're just gonna continue on Tuesdays at 2.
Okay, so well, I got on with Miss Marsha,
Mhm.
but I don't remember the other lady.
Crystal.
Yeah, for the ICD thing.
Oh, Danielle.
Yeah, Danielle. I think I remember I did see her on there one time when I clicked on Miss Marsha's Zoom, but I
Mhm.
didn't know if she was just in the class.
Well, I'll be giving out. I don't know if it's gonna stay the same Zoom link or not, but I'll give it out to y'all when it's time.
Okay.
But let's see what else we need to talk about. NTHS nominations. It's time for a new round of candidates for NTHS, which those of you who don't know is the National Technical Honor Society, which Miss Julia Bellard is actually our chapter vice president, and Miss Aisha is our secretary. Aisha.
Yes.
Secretary. And we also have Miss Tiffany. Tiffany's not on here today, but Tiffany's our like a record keeper, historian type person. Which makes me super proud that 3 of my students are holding officer spots. But so I'm gonna tell y'all now, Patricia, I nominated you. Claire, I nominated you. So congratulations. Let's see who else is there. Priscilla Pete, I nominated. Jennifer Williams, I nominated, and Miss Erin Holloway, I nominated. Which Erin just hopped on, and I'm hoping she got her camera working because I'm actually gonna let Erin talk for a minute. Hey, there you are.
No, I'm not gonna do it today.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. You can. Like I said, I'm 100%. I'm in like Flint.
You can't be scared now. You gotta.
Nah, I'm nosy. Nah, I want to know.
Okay, so
You
I'll
can't
give
be
you a
scared
basic
now, you
rundown, and you want to do it next week, Erin? I'll give them just a heads up.
Okay. I was just gonna tell about the contest I was in. I know everybody, if you have Facebook, you've seen it. It's like the Faces of Horror. It's all over Facebook. But anyways, I'm in that competition. The prize is like a bunch of other stuff, but mainly I'm doing it for the money. It's $13,000, and it's a winner by vote. You cast your vote. Everybody's allowed 1 vote a day. And I'm going to donate $3,000 to the Shriners Hospital in Shreveport. And also, if I win, I will cut my hair, and I'll show you. My hair is really long, so like really long.
Oh.
So I will cut my hair and donate it for the little kids with cancer to have some wigs that they don't have to pay for. Because Locks of Love,
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is
Locks of Love makes them pay for them, and they're expensive.
What kind
Oh.
of
So I didn't want to just donate to Locks of Love. So that's if I win. So I was just gonna, ask if y'all would help me out. If you just happen to be on Facebook and you see it, I was gonna have the link to share, but
Email me the link, Erin, when you get it. Email me the
Okay,
link,
I
and
did.
I'll put it in news and announcements and on Remind and all that.
There you
And I'll
go.
share it on my Facebook and all that too.
I sent it to you in the last email I sent.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Then I'll get it posted.
Mhm.
I'll get it out to everybody. And
I appreciate it. It's
I
1
don't-
free vote a day. And then you buy them, and I'm not expecting nobody to spend any money on it, especially when it's just free, you know,
Well,
from,
if we can share it enough,
Yeah.
who knows,
Give back.
you know? I was just trying to think of a way to, you know, get back or, because nobody knows me. They're not gonna just vote for me just to be nice. So I said, well, you know, maybe some kind of charity fund or whatever, you know, maybe they'll vote for a charity.
I don't know. I'd like to talk a little bit about Shriners Hospital if y'all are not familiar with it. I live very close, within 5 miles of that hospital, and it is a point of pride for people that live in this area because of the amazing work that they do. And they treat a lot of kids that have terminal illnesses or illnesses that don't have
Any cure for, like my
any
daughter.
cure. Right.
Yeah, that's where we're
Um,
going on the 6th. It's to Shriners Hospital.
Yeah, Aaron's
You-
daughter is a patient there. So that's her connection to Shriners. My I don't have a personal connection as far as, kids being treated there or not, but it is an organization that I give to very generously. Anytime they do a drive or anything, I am there. I am there. And because they just, we got to take care of our babies, y'all. We got to
Yeah.
take care of them babies. We got to be their advocates and get them the help that they need when they need it. That's our responsibility as grown folk.
Definitely.
So I'll get that link out so we can
It
get
was the
Aaron's
only
note.
hospital, I'm sorry. It was the only hospital that had any idea how to treat my daughter. She has something called Choco-Marie tooth disease, and it's like an inherited disease, very common in Louisiana for some reason, but not common anywhere else. And so there's no research on it. And, I figured I'd be helping them to research. It's called CMT, but if you Google CMT, it comes up, the channel, the CMT, country music television. So, I mean, if you were curious, it would be the CMTA that has association after it.
Very good. Very good. Thank you for sharing, Aaron. We appreciate it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the exam, and then I'm gonna let y'all go for the holiday. Your exam is basically 20 questions, 19 multiple choice, and 1 short answer at the bottom. And I'll even tell y'all, the short answer question was one of your daily assignment questions this week. It was one that a whole bunch of people got wrong, which is why I put it on the test intentionally. Okay, so
Now I'm curious, what's the question?
I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you. So, what is an individual who has Medicare coverage called?
A
What's the
beneficiary.
term they use?
Beneficiary.
Beneficiary. That's right.
Oh.
Beneficiary.
True. Oh, I read it wrong.
And
Well, I had that one right.
there was, yes, a lot of y'all did. Y'all got to remember though. Y'all got to remember, I have 45 students.
Okay,
So
yeah.
not everybody's on here.
I
So
got
Um,
nervous.
My phone is about to die. I'm almost
that's all
home,
right.
but I'll probably be able to rejoin. But I
Okay.
did want to show my attendance while I could.
Okay, I appreciate it. Have a good
Thank
weekend.
You too.
Bye. So yeah, beneficiary, Medicare beneficiaries. Okay. That's important to know. And I don't know why. Yes, you can call them the insured. Most companies do call them the insured. But they are, in Medicare's eyes, they call them beneficiaries because it's Medicare is a benefit. It's a government benefit that not everybody qualifies for. So that's why they call it a beneficiary. So that's important to know, just, to know your terms, be accurate and all that. Know who's CMS? Can anybody tell me?
Center of
Medicaid
Medicaid and Medicare services.
Correct. Know who CMS is, y'all. And that's important because for multiple reasons. Number one, they are one of the governing bodies in medical coding. You deal we have a huge population of elderly people and Medicare patients in the industry. Think about it. You're the sickest when you're the oldest. There's not a whole bunch of young people, that are sick. You see a lot of Medicare patients. So it's important to know your coverages, part A, part B, part C, D. Know what's covered under each part. There are a few questions on your exam about that, what's covered under what. Okay. Let's see.
I do have a question.
What you got?
Theory, has anybody worked on it yet? The theory questions?
Yeah,
I have a question about number 4,
okay.
the select all that apply. Y'all came up with 2, 3,
3.
4? You came up with
I
3?
have 4.
I came up with 3.
Okay.
I have 4. I added the chronic conditions.
Why? Why though? I don't know. I
Why?
almost
Because
did, I
chronic
almost
is
did, but I
expensive.
don't know the logic on. I mean, I said it could because of the end stage renal, but in the text it was just end stage renal. It
Right.
wasn't chronic conditions.
Right.
That's why I didn't include that one.
Okay, so I went to the paragraph above that one and read, and I just figured that maybe chronic conditions fit the category.
Right.
Just one answer.
I got the other 3. I know the other 3 is right, but that 4th one, I added chronic conditions because I thought maybe that fit the bill.
Yeah, I didn't add my logic on that. I didn't add chronic conditions because I was like, well, you could have, like, let's say you had like heart disease, that's a chronic condition.
Right.
Like if you had CHF, that's a chronic condition, but would that be covered? And that's how I thought about it with the
Yeah.
chronic condition.
I was like, okay, I'm coming up with 1, obviously. And then I'm like, okay, I'm reading and I'm like, I'm confused. Like
And what question is this?
that's number
Number
4.
Number 4.
Okay.
Who
in
is
the theory
eligible for
section,
Medicaid? Select all that apply.
Right.
is that in the theory section?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited to see if that fits.
I know. I want to know the answer.
Like
Alright.
I got everything else, and I'm like, you know what?
I want to know the answer. I'm curious. Can we find out the answer, Miss Brandy?
Yep, I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
gonna look it
gonna
up
be
and see
good.
what they have.
When they ask about there are 3
'Cause I
items
know
that
what I would
Medicare
think
responsible for
answer, but-
paying.
What I think is the answer isn't always what the book wants. Yeah.
Well, what's your take on chronic conditions and Medicare?
I believe that people with chronic, depending on the condition,
Yeah,
can qualify.
true.
Right.
Totally.
So that's why it's
Um,
tricky because it depends
because-
on what that
And the reason
condition
I
is.
say that is because there are certain chronic conditions that can permanently disable you. And if you
Right.
qualify for disability benefits because of a chronic condition, you should qualify for Medicare as well.
That's a trick question.
Not
hate
all the
those.
time. Not all the time, Miss Brandy, because you could qualify for the chronic
Right.
condition
Not
to get
all the
Medicaid.
time.
But
Like I
they
said,
go by if your working status, if you worked in certain quarters, then you qualify for the Social Security, and then you're able to get Medicare. But
Well, that's
That's
what we're trying to figure out. girl.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm getting you there.
the reason why I say that is because I'm one of the I get disability, and because of a chronic condition and one of my other conditions with my neck, but I only qualify for the Social Security disability and didn't qualify for just the Social Security income is because I didn't work within 3 quarters, because I was injured in those 3 quarters, so I couldn't work.
So
Mhm.
you get SSA, but you don't get
Like I said,
SSI.
it's really sometimes
I
it's
get
on a
SSDI.
case by case basis
Yeah.
as to how
I
they're
get
going to make that
SSDI
determination.
and not SSI. And so I'm only able to qualify for Medicaid but I can't get Medicare because I'm not getting the SSI.
And you see like how, because Cameron has Downs. So
Mhm.
Cameron automatically is considered disabled.
Mhm.
And how they did it with us is he gets SSI
Okay, yeah.
until I think he is 18, and then it's either 18 or 21, and then it transfers into something else. But his SSI is given according to how we work.
Your income, yes,
Right.
your
Right.
income. That's how
Right.
my son was. He got disability, SSDI, but they also went by my income
Yeah.
because he was, underage. But once he made 21, then it transfers to his own disability on his own income, which he didn't have an income because it was disability. But they'll reevaluate you to see if you're still disabled with that condition.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay,
Mhm.
so the answer they were looking for was all of the above.
Get out.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Okay. Well then,
And that you see?
Oh, there's also something else I want to talk to y'all about. The things in this chapter are things that y'all need to know what they are, but not necessarily things that y'all are going to use or see a lot. Like the Federal Register. I've never had to look up anything in the Federal Register. So you need to know what it is in case you ever do, but so not something we're going to concentrate real heavily on. And also RSVBs and all that.
Yeah.
Not something you're going to deal with. Not something you're going to deal with. So
So the theory section covers 25 questions.
What
you talking about in the workbook?
Yeah, in the workbook.
Girl, get out of that workbook. We in the workbook.
She's looking at something different. She's looking at something different. No. Were there any other questions about
For the lab,
the
yeah, I'm looking at for the lab. It says the lab, the theory
Yeah, she's
section.
looking at the
it say
lab.
The workbook
Yeah, it
Yeah.
says the workbook.
is the workbook.
Yeah. Y'all did the theory.
On the theory, I have a question. I could not find. I'm gonna say this. I say I could not find it. I think I may possibly know what it is, but I'm not sure. For number 8 got me like, cause like as I go through the chapter, I make notes. Like I have a ton of notes, and I even went back in the chapter and I was like, what the hell is this answer? It was what is the name given to the groups that handle the daily operations of Medicare program?
MAC.
Max.
But Claire, wait a minute.
Yeah,
We
Max.
in the
Yeah.
wrong
ACs.
place.
But I thought it was more than one answer.
Because of the way the question was worded.
Because of the way like they had like I thought it was more than one answer.
I don't think so.
And so I was like, well, maybe I'm wrong. Because in my mind, I was like, okay, I mean, you really kind of have 3, but Max is the one that distributes. So I didn't know. I didn't answer that one. I didn't know. And I said I was going to ask about it because it really confused me. Like,
I understand. And it's weird for that kind of stuff because you got CMS who governs, okay?
right.
And then you've got the Max who facilitate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's y'all, there's so many acronyms and
There's a ton of.
I could give y'all a worksheet that'd be 4 pages of different acronyms that you will see in your job, and it's insane. It's insane. But do you see what I'm saying about there are different organizations that have their different roles.
Yeah.
And it's, it's important to know what those roles are, but don't stress yourself out about it, because it's not something like you're never going to be sitting at work today and go, oh crap, I need to contact the MAC. You know.
But I was being
So
confused.
you want to
'cause
know
I-
who they are. You want to know who they are and what they do, but it's not, it's not something you're gonna have to deal with.
It get me though, because like I want to get it right.
Unless you, I understand.
All right,
I
girl.
understand, y'all. I understand.
And
But
I
if y'all ever
figured,
have questions like that about, and you get stumped on a question, shoot me a text and say, hey, I'm working on this, but let me know what you're working on. Don't just text me and say, hey, what's the question number 14?
Mhm.
I
oh
don't
no,
know
I
what
was
lab
doing-
you in. I don't know what exam you in. I don't know which section you're in. So tell me where you're at, and
I
I'll
started
verify
with-
what the answer is for you. I don't mind doing that if there's something, just because, I'm like that too. If I can't find the answer to something, that kind of makes me mad. You know.
I started
So,
to text you last night, but I was like, no,
You
it's too
should've.
late, Claire. Don't text her.
as long as
And-
it's not too late, I don't mind.
I was doing this. It was like 10:30. I was just, I
Okay,
couldn't.
well, yeah, don't
say
text me,
go-
no 10:30.
I was like, don't text her. But-
Unless it's on fire.
Unless it's on fire.
yeah,
If it's on
yeah.
fire,
No.
I'll let you go.
Well, Claire, you was confusing me at one point because I was like, what question is she talking about?
No, look,
But
I'm screwed.
the theory section, and it's supposed to be the theory section from the workbook, not from the main book.
And that's where I messed up at, because I was in
And
the
that's
book.
why I
So I
asked
got
about
all of them 101 other
questions.
god doggone questions to answer.
But you have to
I did it
keep
too.
flipping to the
If
next
you got
page.
it confused and you did the wrong one,
I
that's
did.
okay.
I'll go
That's
do
okay.
it.
Because
No
more
big
than
deal.
likely, I'm gonna assign you the other one at some point in time anyway,
Yes.
and it's not
Gotcha.
gonna hurt you.
Gotcha.
And I'm also not gonna count it against you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
But I
give
was
you,
just wondering.
you'll know
what
me. I'm gonna
questions
give
you
you the
was
credit
asking.
for doing the work, and especially I will also want to get something down to y'all too. Don't stress yourself out about getting the exact right code down to, we say the highest level of specificity. You want that code to be exact as you can get it, right? But
Mhm.
y'all, like I said, there are going to be very few times where you're going to have to rely on the book. More than likely, you're going to be coding off super bills and software. So those codes are going to be there. So you want to know how to verify things in the book, and you want to use Google, use your online resources too to double check yourselves. A lot of coders find that very, very handy. Now, you do not want to rely off of the internet alone. Do not do that. Okay. But there's nothing wrong with double checking yourself, double checking your answers and stuff like that. So if I'm looking more, I don't so much grade off of accuracy, like, oh, you got the right code, but you missed the 0.1. I'm not going to mark that wrong. If you got the right code, you're in the right section, the right subsection, the right chapter, I'm going to give you some credit. Okay. Because you were there. You were where you needed to be. Okay. And maybe we just need to work on, all right, well, then we need to, don't forget to look at the excludes or the additional information. So, and stuff like that. So as long as you're getting to where you need to be in that book, that's the main thing. It's just knowing where to find what you need to find in the book. Okay. So don't drive yourself crazy trying to spend 3 hours trying to figure out if it's going to be the Z30.2 or the Z30.3.
Oh yeah, that gets me.
Don't spend a whole bunch of time. If you're not sure which one it is, take your best guess and let's move on. Okay. Don't drive yourselves crazy. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. So, yeah, any other questions or anything for me? Oh, the exam is already up and open, by the way. It's not due till Tuesday, but it is already up and open if y'all want to do the thing. So, y'all got anything else for me?
No.
I don't see it, Miss B.
Nothing? The exam?
Yeah.
I opened it in one group. I didn't get to open it in the other one. I'll get it in there in the next
Oh, okay.
I'll have it in there in the next hour or so. And y'all, I probably will not get to post this video until later this evening. Because like I said, it's 2:00. I gotta go get
Yeah.
her at 3. From 2 to 3, and be packing a car. And then from 3 to 8, I'll be driving. So yeah, I'm going to South Louisiana. I'm going home.
Where you going?
Morgan City.
She's coming to me.
I am going to be very close to Patricia. I'm going to be in Morgan City. I'm going to be in St. Mirror Parish.
So you're going to the Shrimp and Petroleum
You
Festival.
dang right. This is Paige's first Shrimp and Petroleum Festival. I am so excited.
And it's open. So
Yes, yes. Well, and they're expecting it to rain. My husband's like, it's going to rain. I said, that don't matter. You better bring some rubber boots.
I'm about to say it's thundering right now.
I said, water don't affect people in Morgan City. What you talking about? A little water.
Have another beer, put on your do like
Get the hurricane
and keep
tent.
going.
Hit the hurricane tent and let's move on. So yes, I'm excited. That's what I'm doing this weekend. I get to take Paige to her first Shrimp and Petroleum Festival, which me growing up there, that's a thing, in that area. It's the shrimp, the commercial fishing industry and the petroleum industry, y'all made that area what it is. And there are still probably 98% of the population that lives down there is dependent on one of those two industries. My dad, his entire life, if he was not a commercial fisherman, which he was a crawfisherman, a crabber, alligator, the whole thing. Okay. If he wasn't doing that, he was welding. And what do you think he was welding on? If it wasn't a boat, it was a rig or a pipeline. And that's a lot of the folks down there. So for Labor Day, we celebrate it. These people work hard. These are two hard industries to make a living in. And, there's generations upon generations down there that have done it and are proud. And I'm proud to be part of that too. So there's my soapbox about my hometown. So yeah, if y'all are in South Louisiana, hit it up, y'all. It is a fun time. It is a fun time. There's a fair, an arts and crafts fair. There's a card show. There's a free children's village from 1 to 5 every Saturday and Sunday, Labor Day weekend, where they have free bouncy houses, free arts and crafts for the kids. I mean, there's music in the park. It's mass on Sunday morning. Blessing of the Fleet after that. That's my favorite thing, is the Blessing of the Fleet, the shrimp boats and the boat parades. Then we have fireworks on Sunday night. We just mais le bon temps roulé, chat.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go.
We having the Zydeco Festival in Opelousas, so it's a big Zydeco Festival this
Ooh,
weekend.
yes, that's a big one up there. I used to live in St. Landry Parish too. I've
Mhm.
been all
So
over the
that's-
state, y'all.
So that's going on this weekend, but I won't be going there because right now I'm heading back to the hospital, bring my husband back to the hospital.
How's he doing, Julia?
That's why we're heading back to the hospital because
He's not doing good.
still having the pain, so they think it might be the stent pain. So,
Well, I'm keeping him in my prayers, love.
all right.
Keeping him in my prayers. Let me know if you need anything, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, folks. Y'all have a blessed and happy holiday and stay safe, stay healthy, okay?
Thank you. Y'all stay safe.
Enjoy your weekend.
Bye, y'all.
Enjoy your holidays. Bye, Julia.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Asia.
Bye.